Pat Donahue, wide receiver, DB, return specialist, #athlete. Swarco Raiders to roll. At the end of the next street?
By the after the gas station?
Yeah, exactly. Which you probably already knew, I just...
Yeah, now like this looks familiar again.
But I think it will be close again this year, GFL2. It's like, I cannot really tell.
As long as the Cougars don't do what the Cougars do, and that's lose games that they should win. We've done that.
I could say something now, Patrick, but
I you know, like me too. I shoot. If I didn't get in that little tussle, we probably would have won the GFL too.
But preseason game,
I blame that on
the team was coming onto the field, and I was counting the players. I was like, oh my god, I think we never, as long as I'm watching, we never had that many players. It's like 50 or something. It's amazing. Now that the Seals are not playing anymore, so a lot of the Seals.
That's how it should have been a long time ago.
Yeah.
But people want to have feuds.
Yeah. So a lot of the Seals came over, then some of the Pioneers. So it was, and the Blue Devils were there with like 29.
Yeah.
And we were actually making fun of it that was us the last 3 years, being at games with 29 players.
I mean, back when I played, we had the Dirty 30 on the road games.
Yeah, and it stayed like that.
Dirty 27.
Yeah, and it stayed like that. Dirty 30.
Taught me how to be a man, even when I wanted to whine and not be who I should be. I appreciate all of you guys. Coaches make the players, man, and the players are always going to be athletes, but the coaches make players great players, and those are the coaches make the difference. And I've been fortunate to have a lot of coaches that made a difference in my life. So. Like I was borrowing socks, shirts, muscle shirts, damn shit. Even like, hey man, like can I borrow some boxers or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody likes to admit those things, but that's how it was. It was like, you know, my best friend, like, that's my brother. But to give people a perspective, like, that's my best friend, and he asked his family to let me live with them to finish high school, and they said yes, and from then on, that was like my family. And so when I say home, I go home to their house, which is, you know, in a heartbeat, they'll do anything they can for me. And so, yeah, that's where my perspective on life comes from, because people have gone, there's people in my life that have gone to great lengths for me, you know, and then there's people in my life that haven't and have done nothing but try to hurt me. But I don't focus on the people that try to hurt me, I focus on the people that try to help me. And so when you focus on that, you can see people for who they are, but still respect them, even though they might not have the same views as you. And so that's how I view life. And people ask me, like, oh, you're too modest, or you're too this, and I just say, I've been through a lot, and God's humbled me in many ways. So I should have been taller. That's the way God made me, and He's humbling me. If I was 6'1", maybe I'd be a little more cocky. Maybe if I had great hair, you know, I'd be the man, and I'd be walking around this way, and maybe I'd be a little more not so cool. And so God humbles me in every single way imaginable, and even through this injury, I realized, you know, it can be gone in a second. Use your platform to do great things, and not to better yourself completely, but to better others. You know, the whole point of getting to the top of the mountain is not to go up there by yourself, but it's to get there and then show others how to get there as well.
Pat Donahue is our starting X receiver. Had a phenomenal year last year, led the team in receptions. This year we expect him to lead the country in receptions.
We're down 21-3 in the first half and fought back. I was so proud of our players. Talked to them half the time about the will to win. Pat Donahue scored on a screen to win the game. We went for two to give us a 3-point lead, and Paul Sweeney threw the ball to Adam Evers for the 2-point conversion. Tiplin, our cornerback, intercepted the ball to seal the victories.
I met him when I came in last year. It was when I first came back and met Pat, and he's quite a player. He's a great young man. He's a big player for us. He plays offense, obviously, is his main thing, and then he plays some defense as well. But he's a big play guy. Anytime he's got the ball in his area, hey, we've got a chance for a big play and a score. He's a good guy to have around and a lot of fun.
It's incredible. I mean, he's a guy that's going to turn the game around with one play. He touches the ball, it's electric. Those are probably the best two things I can describe him. He's electric and he's a big play guy. I mean, he's going to touch a ball for 5 and take it 80 for a touchdown. There's no quit in him. I love that he's selfish, but in a good way, like a receiver should be. He wants the football. He wants to make plays, but he's also a great teammate. And sometimes, I really got to push him to, help these young guys and, give them those experiences that he's been going through and help these guys be electric like yourself, have the same mindset like he does. So having Pat on the roster is just special.
Since we've had Pat here, he's been a tremendous guy, real good person, we don't really have to talk about his play. I mean, he's just unbelievable on the field, but he's a really good person, which makes all the difference, especially here, how he helps out the guys, stays late after practice, throws balls with the guys, make sure his unit is good. And then, come to game day, he's just a monster. I mean, he's just a show to watch. And, we love to have him and hope to keep him here as long as possible.
First of all, Pat is an outstanding football player. And we were looking for somebody who can continue the legacy of Talib Wise, who was one of the outstanding guys in football in Europe, and I had the luxury and the pleasure to work 6 years with him. But then our ways parted, and we had to find a new one. And Patrick was a baller. We knew that. And then I did some research, and everybody I was talking to said he's a good person, good guy, no trouble, nothing. And then we gave it a shot, and there was no question that he's going to take over the legacy, and he's not disappointing at all. I mean, he's one of the most dominant forces in European football as an import.
It has been a lot of fun watching him play, and when you see him, it's like he's on a whole other level. You can't compare him to the other receivers here because he's faster, he wants the ball, and he plays more aggressive, and so that's really nice, and that's why he makes the big plays.
first play in camp, in his first year with us, he tore his Achilles tendon.
That always gets me a little emotional, I guess. I don't know why. But it's because they actually believed in me and they met me for only 2 days. And after 2 days, they knew what kind of person I was, and they decided to keep me on as a running back coach. And I did my best to help out where I could. And I told them I was coming back. You guys stick with me, I'm gonna work hard to come back. They said, hey, if you're 100%, then we'll bring you back. But you have to pass the test with the doctors, and then if that's the case, then we'll bring you back. And I felt like when I got hurt that I let them down, and I let my teammate Jermaine down, and because he was the other import at the time. And he ended up getting hurt, and I felt like I put too much, I left my load on his shoulders. And so I decided I'm gonna come back and make a huge impact and do everything I can and give everything I can, and I ended up playing both ways. And I hope that, you know, my impact was one that they could see that was from the heart and not just for fame, because I don't do it for the fame. The fame is nice, don't get me wrong, but I do it for my, like, just for me. I do it for my morals. I do it because, hey, you know, I feel like I could be an example, and I've started using my life as an example to others that, hey, if you can go through this, if I can go through this, then you can make it no matter what. And I came back from an Achilles tear that maybe 3 out of 10 people come out of, you know, and are successful. So I came back strong, and I owe it all to Coach Shu and Coach Lee and the organization for helping me get the help I needed to come back from the injury.